Welcome to the Utah Football Fans Podcast. Please like, subscribe, and share. And as always, go Utes. We're going to let you know about BetOnline. And BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything sports betting. Has every stat, matchup breakdowns, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. Sounds like right now Utah is a 4-point favorite for the upcoming game this weekend, with the largest catalog of odds on everything from football, MLB playoffs, NHL, baby, NBA, and political props. Oh, God. We don't want to get into that stuff. Okay, geez.
That's for sure.
When the game's over, head on over to the online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here. Okay.
All right, here, let's go.
And this isn't going to help calm him down by talking about the ASU
Should we skip
game.
the ASU
No,
game?
let's go. Let's talk about ASU.
It was dog. There.
Okay, I want to
get the beep button out because there might be some.
I want to say this first, and then go for it, and I'll add my whatever.
Yeah, we'll come visit you, John. We'll have a good time.
I do want to give props to ASU though. Okay,
Yes.
Dillingham, is that his name?
Yes.
I like him.
The dude is Mr. Motivation. He's hyper. I like the guy. They took advantages of our deficiencies and weaknesses. Boom. They beat us. Scataboo.
I like
He ran over us. Props. They beat us. Now we can talk about some particulars. The one thing about Scataboo, I swear this dude was snorting something though.
That guy's just.
Did you know?
He's calm.
Oh, no.
I love
think
it.
he just has a tick.
Okay, call it a tick. Maybe
Hey, man, I
I'm
like the
on
guy.
something or something.
Good
No,
for
he's
him.
not on something. Don't accuse someone of that. My gosh. Allegedly is what
kidding.
Gary's saying.
I'm just
He's
kidding.
not being serious. He's
He-
not on
he-
the. He just has a tick.
He has a tick in it.
It's just like every hockey
Hey.
goalie has a tick. Have you know? You know when you watch the hockey
Yeah,
goalies, they always have
Nikolai
a tick.
Hobby-Bulin? They zoom in on his face. He's just kind of like,
Yeah.
this in his hands. Look it up. Go to YouTube. Not right this second. When we're
Yes,
done,
sure.
all of a sudden, the Nikolai Hobby-Bulin face tick. Look it up. It's
Yeah.
He's just in his mask. He's out of his
That's
mind
just
in
what
there.
Scataboo has a tick.
But no, I'm
Okay,
with
we'll
you.
call it a tick.
I know. Once you couldn't
Whatever he
unsee
does,
it.
but hey, props to them.
He's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm not going to
though.
sit
He's-
here and make a single excuse. They
We'll go
played
for
really
it.
well.
Now, what do you think about the specifics of stuff?
I think that they played really well. I think that obviously we couldn't complete anything.
Yeah,
I will
that
say-
was rough.
Hallelujah that we have Bernard on our team
Yeah.
for the entire season because that man has saved our asses. Even the games that we have lost, he's been the shining star of the game.
Singer's even had a decent game.
Singer,
We just couldn't get him the ball.
Couldn't get
enough,
the
but he
damn
had like
football.
75 yards.
Well,
there were a couple of times,
They
man.
were at his feet.
He is wide open.
Yeah.
He's probably still running right now. And so that's, I think, obviously that's where the level of frustration is at. But the other big thing, defensively, man, we missed, I think it was 19
19
tackles. That is, for me, the number one inexcusable no. Scataboo is a big, strong back. I get it. Okay. But when you've got him, at least slow him down so another guy can tackle him. I've seen a couple of clips where he bounce. Our guys are just like throwing shoulders into him and he goes for 50 and then he goes for 47. They contain him, and then boom, 97 yards on 2 runs. That's that's for me what pissed me off the most.
Well, yeah. I think it should be mentioned 4 of our defensive starters were not playing, which was a surprise. Not Reed. We knew Reed, but the other ones was a surprise to me. However, it's not an excuse. Next man up. Barton had a horrible game.
Barton, I don't know what's going on with you.
Barton was
He was lost, dude.
probably the biggest disappointment with that game. He got burned.
In the first half, 2 critical, like third and
It was a
fourth
third
down.
and fourth down. He
Yeah.
has the guy, and then just
Yeah, it
First
hurt us
down.
bad. Who
Both
knows
of
what
them.
it would have done? But yeah,
Yeah, so
mistakes
that
like
was,
that.
That was hard.
Yeah, the tackling was terrible. The other thing I was looking at, I don't know how many catches Keithy had, but no other tight ends touched the ball.
touch the ball.
And I'm going, I thought we had such a good tight end room.
Crazy deep tight end room.
Most of our tight ends haven't touched the ball all season. It's
It's-
one of
I
my
don't know.
massive frustrations with this year.
Yeah.
King, I don't think has one reception.
I think he's got like one all year.
Loner has a couple. Ryan's has a
got
couple.
one or
And then
two.
Keithy probably has the most.
But what does Keithy have on the year? 20?
Yeah, where's all our tight ends?
Yeah, but some of that has to do with who's throwing the balls too.
For sure. And you'll see, I mean, Isaac Wilson and Singer have a very tight connection. He looks for, and smartly so, for Wilson, he looks for the best receiver maybe in the conference and finds him over and over and over. Okay. So he's going to get him the ball, but I'm with you, man. Look at some of these other tight ends, and it's like Keithy, for his entire time at Utah, is just wide open, and he gets 3 targets the entire game. That's a frustration.
The red zone, again, it's, they know it. Everyone knows it. It's an embarrassment.
But the fact that is this right? We punted
one time the whole game.
One time, and we still lost.
Yeah, but turnover on downs and 3 interceptions will do that.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying is like, you'd look at that stat and go, oh man, you only punted once. That means you scored every time. Nope.
We had 4 field goals. He was the Cole Becker.
Yeah, 4 field goals.
4 for 4 and long kicks too. So
turnover in the red zone.
That's a props to him.
And wasn't he the Big 12
special teams player of the week?
Hey,
so
there's the positive.
Okay,
there's
I do
the
want
positive
to ask
of the game.
Oh, there's positive.
You want positive? Come to us.
Bernard,
yes.
I think honestly the O-line played a good game most of the time. You can't run the ball like that and have a crappy game. Where there's some breakdowns, yes, but
it's always
when you're doing your job and the other guys aren't doing your job, it's not your fault.
Agreed.
Okay. I do want to get your opinion though. Coaching. Our coaches in this game. Negatives, positives, you're okay with it or what?
I said it. I think we got outcoached. Both Arizona games, we've been outcoached in a lot.
How?
They just had better schemes for overall. I don't know. I'm not a coach by any means, but just the eye test of it, I'm just watching it going, they seemed better prepared. They seemed to have a better scheme than us. I mean, their receivers seem to be, especially in the first half, just running free. Like our defense was lost. And then keeping Cam in, that's always the debate and the question. I had no problem with keeping Cam in for the first half. I have no problem with that. I know he is a warrior. He's tough, all that stuff. But man, he couldn't complete a 5-yard pass. I have a hard time sitting here going, you can't convince me that we bring in Isaac, we're not going to have a better opportunity than a guy who is so immobile that any pressure, he can't move. That
second half, he could move better,
but not like he should be able to. I get the respect level of Cam, and he wants to gut it out. He wants to do it for the team. But the second he starts putting passes in the dirt, you've got to be the coach.
Yeah, but you have to put yourself back on Friday night. Cam was the starter.
Okay.
Cam was our guy moving forward for the rest of the season.
Okay.
Cam needed the game experience because let's be honest, he hasn't played a full game this whole season, which is insane to think about, but he hadn't. So of course, hindsight's 2020, and maybe if Wilson had come in, maybe we win, but maybe we don't. I feel like Cam was the guy. We're sticking with him. We're not going to take him out because he's our guy moving forward. Now, obviously, everything has happened since then, and he's not going to be able to play the rest of the season. But at that point, he was going to be our guy, so I see why they kept him in. And he was starting, I felt like he was starting to get his rhythm more second half. Now, he couldn't move very well.
Couldn't move, couldn't throw.
And then the throws got increasingly worse towards the end of the game. My thing with coaching, I'm so tired of our offensive call playing. I'm so...
Play calling.
What did I say?
Call playing.
We knew what you meant.
In my head, it said play calling. And especially some of these weird trick plays, and you have a quarterback who has injured his ankle and can't move, and we're designing him to run and fake it. Like, what is that? I'm watching the Oregon game on Saturday night, and like every play they do is something different.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Everyone is
Well
different. And I'm
designed.
just going, Why can we not do some of this?
Clever,
Yeah.
creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know what they're going to do next because it's always different. For us, it's
I
run.
bet they're running Bernard on a third
Run up
one.
the middle. Run up the middle.
Look at that. They did it.
Then have
You
Keithy
guys-
try and run it.
Oh, what was that?
And then run up the middle.
Look-
then let's have Cam try and run it, even though he can't even
Oh my
move.
God.
And then let's run up the middle.
I'm with you. I love the Keithy Wildcat from the 1 yard line, not from the 9. Look. Yeah, tell us, Gary, where we're all wrong and how we're all idiots.
No. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I have a lot of criticisms about some play calling and stuff. But again, I am not a coach, and no one in the chat here.
Yeah, and no one on Twitter.
These
they're
guys
not
aren't coaches, okay?
They're all idiots too.
Now,
Just keep that in mind.
I understand
when
the call. When I look at it,
They're all
I go,
idiots.
"Well, that sucks." And then but then I haven't gone back to the film because I'm Mr. Knowledge of everything and say, was the call a good call or did these dudes not execute? It does matter.
Well, yeah, there was both of that.
There's both of it, but it always comes back to the coaches because you have to teach, train your players, and get them to execute. But not every play breaks down because it is a bad call. It's because the guys don't make it. Someone blows an assignment.
Well, and sometimes the defense just makes a good play. So you got to give credit on that too.
So
Well, and sometimes your quarterback throws it
in
at
the dirt.
at the guy's ankles when he's wide
Wide
open.
open, goes to the dirt, and all of a sudden, then the next play they stop us, and then Ludwig's the a-hole.
I know.
That's what I'm saying. Now, it felt like to me that Wilson probably should have come in, but I'm not going to second guess Witt and the coaches because I go with you, Bryn. Is that at what point is it rust and is it injury? Because he hasn't played in a year and a half a full game, so there's some of that. Let's get to the half, like you said. He wanted to go. All right, we're going to roll the dice. He's our guy. He's won a lot of games for us. I think he's okay. The other part of it is how much was Wilson in on the game plan in the prior week leading up to the game?
A lot, but
again, you see that we don't know all those. It could have been mostly Cam. It could have been 75%. All of a sudden, you throw Wilson in. He wasn't really prepped for the game enough. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm not going to second guess it. That's just me. I could have easily accepted with. It looked like Wilson should have come in, but Witt essentially, if you watch his press conference, he kind of mumbled around on it. What he's basically saying is, we made the decision, we went with it. This is what happened.
it was the wrong decision. Look,
Boom. That's it.
And
I'm not going to fire
sitting
the guy
here
over it.
on Monday saying anything different than what I was screaming at the TV on Friday night. These are all the things I was screaming because I'm sitting there watching like all of you where I'm saying, okay, yes, I get keeping Cam in the game. He's our guy. But when your guy, who is the quarterback, can't hit that pass that every other quarterback on our roster could likely have hit, it's not like he was having to throw into tight windows, dude. Our freaking receivers were open. Okay, so get them the damn football. I look at like, okay, this is the example that came to me in my hours of rage on Friday night was Nick Saban, who I can't stand, pulled Hurts in the national championship game because they were down, I think it was 13-0 or something like that. Pulls the guy who was their starting quarterback for the entire season, puts in Tonga Vailoa, goes in, wins the national championship game because Hurts wasn't getting it done. Not because of an injury, because he wasn't getting it done. Cam's ankle went like freaking this under the guy, and we still were like, he's our guy. I respect it. I love Cam. We've talked about it. But in that moment, he did not give us the best chance to win that game. Wilson has played, 3 games to this point? He can go in and run a basic offense. That's what upsets me.
I was yelling much different things at the TV than I am right here.
I was watching it by myself, so the words I used,
You're not yet. You just said, I'm saying the same things. No, you're not.
they're toned down.
You know, we do realize
Most of them were angled at Barton,
Here's-
though. I'll say that.
here,
Oh, Barton,
My dog left the room.
get it together.
That's how much I was
defensively,
yelling.
if you think of the Arizona game, what's killed us? I don't know if we would have won or not, but it certainly would have been a factor. But if you think back to the Arizona game, we were coming back. We were right there. 2 huge plays.
Massive plays.
35-yarder to the outside. I think it was a tight end. Caught one ball. I think that was it.
In Arizona.
Toe,
game.
yeah, tap, toe tap. Unbelievable. He misses that. They have to punt.
And then the long
And then the
touchdown.
long 40-yarder touchdown back of the end zone. Those guys haven't thrown up 2 balls like that since then.
Yeah.
I watched
would
them,
know.
and they suck.
I've watched.
Yeah, they suck. So 2 big plays were critical in our loss. And then the freaking Arizona State
Scatterboo.
game.
2
Scatterboo.
plays.
2 plays, 2 50-yarders,
Yes.
2 touchdowns.
Yes. That's
That
you know
stuff
what?
can't
You're
happen,
right.
dude.
Especially defense. They know our offense is
Dang,
struggling. And that's how we've won for freaking decades is the defense locked down and stop them. And it hasn't happened the last 2 weeks. So can we move on?
Are we moving?
My blood
forward?
pressure
I
is
know. It's like
way
I don't
too
want
high.
to. I can't. It's